never give it back.
So that's a good pick. You get the corner. I got to go bold, right? I got to go bold for this.
She's got some nice long
Welcome back to the Unbearable Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Barron. Make sure to like and subscribe out there on YouTube, and also rate the show 5 stars everywhere you get your podcast. And you can download it on the go. Just open it up on your phone and search for Unbearable Sports. What is going on, Bears fans? Today, we're going to be talking about Minicamp. I scoured the web, listened to a bunch of different shows and people talk about this, and I put together the biggest takeaways from Minicamp, because today was the only day that the Bears media could go out there and actually watch Caleb Williams and the Bears play. Now, you might have already heard, overall, defense won the day, offense lost, but we're going to be breaking it down in a little bit more detail and what really matters about this practice. Should we be concerned? Should we be panicking? We'll talk about that next. But first, if you've seen the show before, whenever we talk about minicamp and training camp, I always like to talk about who's out first, and then we'll kind of break down the bigger news later on. So who is out? Who was not there during minicamp practice today? 5 people. Montez Sweat, Keenan Allen, Darnell Wright, Velus Jones Jr., and Nate Davis. Rome Odunze did not participate, which kind of want to see him out there a little bit more, but not out there. But overall, the biggest concern that I do have, now Velus not being there, you kind of wish that he was, but Matt Eberflus did say that, hey, people had graduations, birthday parties that they still have to go to. And a lot of times the older players like Keenan Allen have family that they have to go attend to. Now that goes over to the Nate Davis situation. My biggest concern is, why is Nate Davis not there? And we talked about this last year when Nate Davis wasn't at a lot of the different voluntary practices and people were going, okay, now what's going on? And I remember some of the Titans reporters saying, Nate Davis, he's just not a big practice person. Just like, okay, that's not really a Matt Eberflusian type of a piece, but oh well. So Nate Davis isn't there. I don't know the reasons why he's not there. I might never have the true reasons why. It's just not a good look. And especially for being someone that is getting paid $10 million a year and is coming off of his worst season, it's really not a good look. If I was getting paid that type of money and I had a terrible season, I would do everything in my power to try and just show that I'm the guy that you gave the money to, right? That to me is something that just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't know why he's not there. Hopefully he does come back and he's able to at least play. Now, on the bright side, Matt Eberflus did say that everyone has been in the building at one point or another this offseason. So it's at least he's not avoiding everything. People have actually seen him. He is alive. He does. And, you're able to at least see the player. So that's at least good. But let's get into the actual news, the actual pieces about what went down today. Now, the headline, offense struggles. Now, this is dependent on how you want to see this. The offense struggled, or you could say the defense was awesome, because all the reports that I'm hearing and everything, they're just saying the secondary is incredible. And also for those that are watching, look at Jalen Johnson with the new number 1 on. It's going to take some getting used to, but I'm glad that he got the number that he wants. But Jalen Johnson is phenomenal. And we talked about this, that this is one of the best back seven, not backfield, but back sevens in the NFL. When you look at the linebackers, you look at the corners, you look at the safeties. So it makes sense as to why this defense would dominate the offense, because we don't have our pass rush. It's just purely them covering the people in front of them. And when you don't have Keenan Allen and you don't have Rome Odunze out there, it's not going to be great. And DJ Moore even said it's frustrating, but we also know that we're learning a new system. But overall, this defense too, it's just freaking rowdy. They're like everyone was saying, they're getting in the faces of everyone. Caleb Williams only completed 3 passes. And according to Pat, the designer, he's saying that, hey, it looked like there was supposed to be 2 interceptions out there as well when he was watching practice as well. The defense played well, and we saw this last year. Defense is fiery, defense is intense, and everyone that's there is like, this is a good secondary. This is a really good secondary, and we do have to kind of tip our hats to them. And also, so obviously, with the defense being great, defense flying around, defense playing feisty, we love to see it. But this opens up the whole concerns about Caleb Williams. Did we pick the wrong guy? Can we trade back for Justin Fields? No. No. Let's axe that all right now. Okay, he struggled. Or all reports are saying that, hey, the offense was not clicking. But also I heard Courtney Cronin talk about this, saying there wasn't a lot of people open. The defense played very well and closed in on a lot of these players. So you got to give the defense some credit. And also even Kevin Byard said, and I might have this, but overall, it's just Kevin Byard said that, listen, they won the game. Like, I think it was the first day. They're like, yeah, offense won first day. And then obviously the defense took this day. And that's the negative part about not having the media there every day, like a training camp. Because at training camp, we can kind of monitor the ups, the downs of what the Chicago Bears are doing. And for someone who does love going to training camp, there are good days and there are bad days. And especially when you have a rookie quarterback, you are going to have bad days. When the offense has to learn a brand new offense, it's going to take time. With a rookie quarterback, that's just what's going to happen. And also, Kevin Byard said it too. He said, we had a good day. I'm not going to sit here and lie about that, but to be honest, it's to be expected. You have a returning top 15, top 10 defense, obviously going against a younger rookie quarterback who's getting acclimated and learning things. That's what it is supposed to look like. And that is very well spoken from Kevin Byard. And just overall, that's how I feel. And two, you listen to any former NFL player, they're like, the defense is going to be ahead of the offense. And also, you're talking about a defense that is going into their second year under the same defense, going against an offense led by a rookie quarterback learning a brand new offense. This is to be expected. It just stinks because the next time that we're going to be able to see the offense is May 31st. So it's going to be another week until the actual, until media is able to kind of see that again, and kind of then hopefully the offense looks a little bit better, because then we have to sit here for an entire week being like, oh man, you're going to have people thinking that Caleb is terrible now, but really it was just a poor day. And now I did also hear too that Caleb did make kind of a bad play where he did step out of bounds on 7-on-7s, just something that you want to see him kind of obviously sure up. But overall, it's still nothing to be concerned about. He is ahead of schedule as reported by a lot of different people. But also, I also just want to highlight Kevin Byard. So Kevin Byard did say this. He said, when asked about Caleb Williams and what he did and just his performance, Kevin Byard did say, I said something to him at the end of practice like, keep it going. We're going to keep making you better, Byard said, and not necessarily saying he had a terrible day, but days like this are going to make you better. And a lot of people came away today after listening to Kevin Byard talk that this is someone that is a leader in the locker room, which I love the signing of Kevin Byard, and it's nice to see that this veteran is kind of, he's a veteran. He's been around the league, and also I said this when they signed him. He's someone that just purely does his job. He's going to make the tackle. He's going to be in coverage. He's going to do the little things, and he's also, knock on wood, he's typically been healthy throughout his career as well. Kevin Byard really kind of just showing that he is that leader on this defense and kind of stepping up after Eddie Jackson was let go. So overall, defense flying around, defense making plays. Am I concerned? Not so much. Now, the only other piece too was I was listening to Courtney Cronin and Pat the Designer on ESPN 1000. They were talking about this too. They said, besides the offense, besides the defense, something that they took away was, Gervon Dexter looked like he slimmed down a little bit, and that's what we like to hear. Gervon is going to be a big, big piece, because if he can take that next step, then this defensive line, you feel a lot better if Gervon can really kind of, if he's slimming down and kind of just like, adding more adding more muscle and kind of losing some of that fat. That's what you want to see, because we need to see him just a little bit quicker and getting everything down. So that does it. That does it for the Minicamp overview. Like we said, on the 31st, we're going to have more Chicago Bears media out there so then we can report what's going on. I want to come up with a couple other little shows in between then. So if you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe out there on YouTube. Also, rate the show 5 stars everywhere that you get your podcast. We'll keep this one short and sweet. With that, Unbearable Sports Podcast, we are out.
Yeah, she's got some nice long hair and